I want to talk about transportation for retirees. I live in Central Florida, and when I hit 75, my car insurance rate tripled. Obviously, they're just trying to get the seniors off the road. In my case, they succeeded. So let me work it out. And I'm debt free, was debt free back then. So the vehicle I had was paid for. So I didn't have that monthly payment. But I did have an investment in the car, and any maintenance out of warranty, gasoline, tires, and expendables are going to come out of my budget, out of my pocket. So when my insurance rates tripled, it was car insurance was going to run me about $200 a month. I've had one minor claim in the last 25 years. So it has nothing to do with the risk. Plus, the year before they upped my rates, I only put 1,200 miles on the car. Okay, I can't change the insurance industry, but I can look at my options. Now, one good thing is I can get almost anything delivered. So there's not much need for me to get out there in the traffic. I don't really like to drive anymore. Here in Florida, where there's almost no traffic law enforcement, it gets real scary quick. So I said I wanted to see how Uber would work out in my budget. So in my budget, I had allowed $250 for transportation. That was too much for me to own a car and drive it. The insurance being about $200 by itself. If I put any gas in it or had to do any kind of maintenance, I was going to be over budget. But I kept that same budget amount to see if I can do it with Uber. Now, one caveat is that when I get stuff delivered, the price of my goods has delivery factored in, either overtly or covertly. And then I tip the people who do the shopping and bring it in and bring it to my house. And yet that's not broken out into transportation, although it should be. But nevertheless, the only times I have to get out is when I have some kind of personal care issue, either a doctor, barber, or just to get out of the four walls. I'm fortunate in that I live in a 55 plus community, which is luxurious. 2 Olympic sized swimming pools, hot tubs, tennis courts, pickleball, 200-seat theater, state of the art gymnasium, 2 18-hole golf courses, although I don't play golf. And I get around here inside the park, which is 1 square mile, on my golf cart. So I'm in an ideal situation, and not everybody's going to be in that situation. All I'm saying is, when you get to the point where when you retire, now this probably will not apply at all to somebody who's having to go to work every day. I'm not using Uber that often. I may use it 3 or 4 times a month. Some months, not at all. But for the retired person, it's an option that they really ought to look at for a couple of reasons. Number one, as we get older, our reflexes are not as fast, and the insurance underwriters would say we are a higher risk. And I don't have the facts to dispute that. they're probably right, although not 3 times the rate increase that I was getting. But it's worked out very, very well. And Uber's added a lot of new features, which I'm using. For one thing, I can schedule a ride ahead of time, which is important if I've got to be at a particular place at a particular time. Another thing is you can have multiple stops, which makes it nice for shopping. Although there is, I'm sure, a limit to how long the driver would wait there. I only use that when I'm just going in real quick to do something and come out. If I were going in to get a haircut and then going to someplace else, that would not work, because a haircut with waiting time can be 30 minutes to an hour. So I just have to schedule another ride from there, which is not a big deal. Like a taxi, there is a charge just to set up the ride, which I believe is $2.95. The thing I do like about Uber is you know all your costs up front. Unlike a taxi, he's going by a meter, and he may take the longest route possible to run up the fare. I've had that happen to me. So anyway, I wanted to put in a word for Uber. Lyft would be another option. I use Uber just because I'm used to it. And the other option that I've used is scheduling a ride for somebody else who does not have an Uber account, or for whom I want to pay the fare. And that works very, very well. So Uber, keep up the good work. Now, one thing that Uber has started, and I haven't used it yet, and anybody who may have used this, if you'll put your experience down in a comment, I'd appreciate it. And that is, now Uber rents cars. So I want to rent a car for a day. I like that option. Somebody brings it out to me. I take them back to wherever they need to go. And it's $50 a day. Now, I don't know what other costs might be included. Since I don't have car insurance, I don't know if my credit card would cover the insurance, or if that's something I'd have to pay extra for. But at any rate, that is an option. If I had a lot of running around to do, that might be a cheaper option. I don't know. I just have to try it. But if any of you have used the Uber car rental, please let me know. That would make me more comfortable with trying that option. Well, that's all I have for this video. So once you retire, think about getting rid of the car and taking Uber and getting your groceries and everything else delivered. It's really worked well for me.